Hey, you ever been to Chancellor Park? That's where I live. My name is Tavin Dillard. I live in Chancellor Park. I mow lawns, mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. I sure am glad to join me here on this podcast. I want to let you know what's going on in my neck of the woods. Now, I started out years ago on the YouTubes and then the TikToks and the Instagrams now and the whatnots. I got the websites, the tavindillard.com, but right now, I want to clue you into what's happening in my neck of the woods on the Tavin Dillard podcast. You here? I'm here. I'm glad you joined me. Now I'm going to send it over to myself. This is like the pre-introduction, but let's get on to the real show today. I'm glad you joined me here. Bank, bank. Hey, y'all guys. Welcome to the Tavin Dillard podcast. Happy New Year. How in the world are you? How was your New Year's Eves, your New Year's Day? Welcome to 2024. We into season 8, episode 15 of the Tavin Dillard podcast. Now, there have been other seasons where I have just stopped at like 15. Episode 15, I'm pretty sure, was the Q&A. It's the questions and answers. So what happens is folks would send in questions and I would answer them on episode 15. But whatever, you know, what happened this season, I don't know why. There ain't no rhymes or reasons to it. But I got 15 episodes, and in the 16th episode of season 8 is going to be the Q&A. So a little bit of math is going to tell you that's next week. And a little bit more math tells you if you want to send in a question, you better do it right now. Do it today. So if you're listening to this on the day it come out on January 2nd, send it in today. If you probably get it in by Thursday, you know, in the next 2-3 days, I can get it in on the Q&A and send in more. Folks have been emailing them. Like I said, on my email, tavindillard@gmail.com, and it'll be in the show notes, you know, if you ain't in a place where you got a pen and pad and write this down. tavindillard@gmail.com, but in the subject line, put Q&A season 8. You know, so I know what you're asking. And if you just texted me, just say, hey, this is for the Q&A. And then I'll know that it ain't just a random question you asking me and you want me to answer right then and there, but you want it answered on the Q&A, you know, episode of the podcast, which is next week, y'all guys. So if there was a time for you to send in a question, it would be right now. Today would be today, you know, next couple of days for sure. So you know me though, I'm Tavin. I got my lawn care services, mowing, edging, grass cutting legend. I got some stickers coming in. I think in this next week they'll be showing up, so I'll probably be promoting them on the Instagrams. Usually it's the Instagram stories where I do that, and maybe in a newsletter if you're on my email list to send it out to let you know news. But I got these clear stickers, but except the picture, you don't see through the picture, and it's the same, you know, like artwork that I have on my lawn mowing hat and lawn mowing shirt, you know, where I'm there with the lawnmower. Anyhow, that's how that goes. Christmas was good, and New Year's has been good. I got a little bit to talk about today, of course, with what's going on, you know, in my neck of the woods, and we turn a page on a new year, but I don't know, you know, it's not like folks just automatically change like they're a different person. At least that's what I'm learning with my family already this year. But thank y'all for those that, you know, been buying the bacon and the Tavin syrup from trees and the new merch and stuff. I hope y'all enjoy it. The bacon, I eat a lot of it. And the syrup's delightful, delicious as well. And they kind of go together. They basically friends. And then right now, as I record this episode of the podcast, I'm wearing a possum peg leg shirt. You know, it's a dream I had. I'm going to do a dream podcast here in next season, season 9, once we get on the other side of the Q&A. At some point, it's not going to be the first one, but I had enough dreams to where I figure I should talk about them. So that's coming up. But how are you liking the podcast and your new year? If you can leave me a comment and rate and share it, I appreciate it. And like I said, this is a pretty big season of the podcast guy. I figured out how to use Spotify. So folks that was leaving me comments, I could finally see what they were saying. So I appreciate y'all. What do we got going on today? Memaw has a candy stash. Maybe your Memaw does too. Maybe you got your own candy stash. Memaw got a futon, and Memaw got grandbabies. One of them's my brother Bret, and Memaw got a cookie jar. Do those things go together, Tavin? Well, they just might. My Mima likes candy. I don't know where she gets all of it. I know Christmas times, if she goes to party, she'll pocket more than she needs that day so that she can have it for another day. Now, some of that stuff don't keep. You know, cookies will go stale, but she'll end up with a moo pocket full of, you know, cookies and different types of sundries that she's takes from parties. I can't say she stole them because they out for folks to eat, but I feel like she take more because she planned to eat them different days, not like I'm here to enjoy this party right now, and so today I will, whatever snacks in front of me, I'll take it, and then I'll go home and live like a normal person. No, she got her, Winder Memaw on, deeper pockets in them. I don't know why. I haven't done the science behind it. But she managed to collect them things. Snicker bars are her favorites. If you listen to this podcast and seen my videos for any number of minutes, you probably know that that's Memaw's favorite. I don't know what it is. I think she just like variety, and they stick everything in that Snickers bar. I mean, if you like chocolate, it's there, but it ain't everything. If you like the caramel, it's there, but it ain't everything. If you like peanuts, they got them in there, but it ain't just like one bag of peanuts, kind of thing. They got nougat. I think is there nougat in Snickers too? I think so. And I don't even know what that is. But boy, you say it with a candy bar and people are like, oh yeah, I'll have some of that. But it ain't something you order off a menu. I ain't never seen it at a restaurant or nothing like that. Like, oh, and if with your catfish, would you like a side of nougat or something? I ain't never seen that, so I don't know. I didn't go to school for nougat though, so I ain't a nougatologist. But anyhow, Mima loved them Snicker bars. My brother Bret here recently spent the night on her futon. Gross, nasty, stained, almost throwed out, ended up back in her trailer futon. It got all kind of stuff on it, y'all guys. And I actually talked about that in a podcast episode before. Well, anyhow, Bret, he can't just be there and take what's given to him, which is a free night's sleep on the nasty futon. He got to get into stuff. So he did. He found Memaw's candy stash in her baby doll box underneath her bed. So that ain't something you just stumble upon. If you find something in a box under somebody's bed, you was looking there. It ain't in your way. It ain't you tripping on it out the front door on the porch. It's sitting on the seat of your car or your bike, and you're like, oh, that's in the way. What is it? Oh, look what I found. It's a Snickers bar. No, I don't know why he was looking there, other than that maybe he wanted a Snickers bar, but I don't know how you would know they was in a baby doll box under Memaw's bed. What was he really looking for? That might have just been like, a little bonus for him. Like, oh, I found a Snickers when I was looking for whatever. Maybe Memaw's money. I don't know. Of course, she got a fancy cookie jar with a nature scene on it, hummingbirds and clouds and a sky for the lid. But don't open that. Don't open Memaw's cookie jar. I mean, if you're going to get in the baby doll box under her bed, you already asking for trouble. So maybe that all kind of cautions out the window, because he did. Y'all guys, Bret opened Memaw's cookie jar. Happy New Year, Memaw. You in trouble, Bret. So Memaw was mad. And there ain't no cookies in there right now. Sometimes she keeps stuff in there, but they're mostly candy, and stuff, I guess, that she got from these Christmas parties she was at. But they got the usual things that you'd find in any granny's house. Memaw got them circus peanuts, the butterscotch discs, cinnamon discs, candy bars, Skittles out of the bag. They just loose in there. M&Ms, loose and free in there too. Unwrapped hard candies, making like one big old bionic brick candy. Them hard candies, you let them hang out for too long, all of a sudden they just one big super piece of candy. Who knows what Memaw's plan was with all of that. So it's kind of gross. I ain't seen, them loose hard candies, I usually would see at the bank or at folks' house, like Imogene Watkins that keep a candy dish out, but not one the candy that you really run into during normal places during the day. So I just told her, I just said it, because Memaw was already frustrated. I said, Memaw, it's a new year. Maybe just start this cookie jar over. It's okay. Throw out them Skittles and the M&Ms. You ain't got to feed them to yourself. You ain't got to throw them in the trailer park for stray dogs. You could just toss them in the trash can. That's okay. Sometimes you got to give folks permission to do something that they feel like, boy, that's a big no-no. And she looked in there, she took a sniff, and you sniffing. So you can imagine you open that sky lid on that hummingbird cookie jar and you take a sniff. Circus peanuts, don't know how old they are, but they loose. They ain't in no bag. Butterscotch disc, cinnamon disc, candy bars. They was wrapped. Some of them were fun size. You can only fit so many king size inside cookie jar. And truth be told, Memaw don't let a king-size Snicker bar or any kind of candy bar like that big sit around too long, so you ain't gonna really find them in the cookie jar. And then you sniffing the Skittles out the bag, the M&Ms that are loose and free that they just mixing with the Skittles. And she thought maybe I should, like I think she was thinking maybe Tappin's making sense right now. Like I gave Memaw advice for once that she might take. Bret was already in trouble for opening the off-limits cookie jar because he got into it. That's what started all this. He got caught doing this things while he was spending the night, but he might have done a good thing since now she can clean that out and start all over. So you know how sometimes it's like, well, good comes from bad stuff. Bret snooping around, showing that he's still sneaky and maybe a little bit of a thief, might help Memaw's cookie jar situation for the new year. So he went to start cleaning it out. Like Bret's like, yeah, it's a good idea. I'll help with that. I'll help clean this out, probably because he's going to pocket some of them M&Ms. So Bret go to start cleaning it out, but Memaw didn't give him the green light yet. Like he took that on his own, and now he's getting hit on the back of the neck with a fly swatter. And that stings. You ever been hit with a fly swatter? First of all, it stings, and then it's just demoralizing because you know what that fly swatter's done before. You've seen it mash flies, and now that's on the back of your neck. But Memaw, now she demanding replacements. Now she found her opportunity. Now she can clean out that thing, and now Bret owe her, is the way she say it. So all of a sudden, I don't know how that worked out though, but I end up being the one going to Rickard's grocery store for some new wrapped candy. And I can tell you right now, Memaw didn't give me no pocket money to buy it with. So Memaw's being Memaw, and Bret's being Bret, and I'm at Rickard's grocery store. Kevin at Rickard's there, he's putting up a Waverly cracker display. Jerry Don and Super Barnard, they have some inspired boxes down at the flea market, but Kevin's, he's selling the fresh ones. So it just depends on what you want. That's the thing I like about my town is you got options depending on if, you got standards for certain food and you don't for others. And Jerry Don and Super will say it too. They know that their standards is low. That's the nature of the flea market when it comes to the food they got there. So I'm trying to go simple for Memaw. New year, new you kind of thing. So I just went for the two main hard candies, the butterscotch disc and them cinnamon disc and king size Snickers. Now I don't know, we cleaned everything out, and that really wasn't something I was watching because I think some of them cinnamon disc and butterscotch disc could have stayed, but maybe Bret took them, I don't know, but everything's new. And a bag of ginger snaps. So that's pretty standard, y'all guys. Butterscotch, cinnamon disc, Snickers, ginger snaps. Let's start with the four main food groups. Kevin asked me to check out the new bottled sodas that they got in the glass bottle. They're carrying them out at Rickard's grocery store. Like a vintage section, like from the olden days. And I still drink these. The bottled Coke, of course, they got that. Peach Knee-High, my favorite soda of all time. And then he had grape Knee-High. He had orange Knee-High. Mountain Dew, all glass bottles. He didn't have no Dr. Pepper in glass bottle, but think about Dr. Pepper. Don't nobody care. We drink it in whatever you put it in. Delma Spencer, she was there. She wanted a sample of the Coke from the glass bottle. She had the nerve to say, well, can I have a little taste of these new bottles? Well, the Coke ain't new. It's Coca-Cola, Delma. She pointed to her kiddo, looked Brian Spencer, and said, look how thirsty he is. That's what she said to Kevin Rickard, pointing at him. And he don't know how to act thirsty. He don't know how to act. He's just a little boy. And nobody believed that he thirsty. And he supposed to be in school anyway. She said she got him a day pass to take a tour of the grocery store. That's what she said to Kevin when he's like, why isn't he in school? And we got a water fountain if he thirsty kind of thing. And she said, no, he got a day pass to take a tour here at your grocery store. A day pass? It ain't a prison, Delma. What are you talking about? And he's seen the grocery store. Like, Delma don't know what a Coke tastes like. And like, none of this makes sense. None of this adds up. The fact that Kevin even let her back in the store after all the things she's done over the years, the least of which is not putting her kids' bloody stubby teeth in the frozen food section, telling them that the tooth fairy pick them up from there and will leave ice cream at their house. Well, none of that happened except Delma ended up with ice cream because Kevin paid her off and said, don't ever leave any more bloody stubby teeth in my store kind of thing. Here's some ice cream, now go away. But he's learning to be firm with her, but she liked to test them boundaries. Delma Spencer liked to steady test them boundaries. Come on, Delma. I only had a few words for Delma, and then I was on my way back. You know what, my job. I ain't her daddy. I ain't her parent. I ain't her uncle. I'm back to Memaw's trailer, and I said plenty to her. She know what I think in my life. I said, so I'm back to Memaw's trailer. I see Bret walking away from Chancellor Park with a cardboard box full of a candy brick from Memaw's cookie jar. Now I'm thinking, well, I guess maybe that's all he ended up with. Maybe Memaw didn't part with you. I don't know. All I know for sure is what I see. And what I see is Bret walking away with a cardboard box full of a candy brick. So Memaw ended up keeping them candy and them cookies. She turned her cookie jar back into a cookie-only jar, though. So she did rearrange, she moved stuff. Sometimes that makes folks feel better. You know, if you do any New Year's cleaning, you think, well, I didn't get rid of anything, but I moved this up on that shelf, and this is down here now, and that's over there now. And so I just shuffle it around, you know, like a checkers game. And the Snickers, like I say, they don't fit in a jar anyway because I got the king size for, and Memaw likes to keep them close. So I think in her bedroom somewhere, maybe that's what Bret was looking for, you know, when he was in there. Well, I get choked up talking about that. Maybe he was thinking, boy, that baby doll box under her bed, there's them king size Snickers. Now that's just me guessing because I didn't talk about it. But she's gonna wash that cookie jar out, she said, so it's just gonna be when it's all clean, just them ginger snaps, and then that they won't taste like butterscotch and Skittles once she clean that out. I asked Memaw why there was candy in the baby doll box, because there was, you know, some under there. I guess they weren't under her pillow or nothing. And she told me that them baby dolls get hungry. I was like, Memaw, are you serious? She goes, Tavin, Rachel Christine and Babs Gristle and Becky Thacker Hangs, they both get low sugar. And I said, firstly's Memaw, Dims is on the shelf in the front room. All them three that you named, they ain't in the box under your bed, baby dolls. Dims your like first string. Them your starters, you know what, like that way. And then she get a little flustered. She goes, well, the other ones get hungry too, Tavin. They all got stomachs. I said, no, they don't, Memaw. Come on. But that's it. I mean, you can't argue with her. They her baby dolls, and it's her trailer. So things are fresh now, at least about it. The way I look at it, things are fresh in Memaw's trailer for the new year. I helped a little bit. I didn't get into any kind of fist fight with Bret or Delma Spencer. And Memaw don't love ginger snaps. Not like she loves them Snicker bars, at least. So when folks stop by, she liable to share them. So that could be a good thing too. Like Memaw, you know, keep the door open this year for folks that stop by and, oh, come on in, have a ginger snap from my fresh, clean cookie jar. Like if you stop by Memaw's, I recommend a ginger snap because everything's fresh and new and clean there. You ain't got to worry about that. So that's how that goes. And then next week we got, oh my goodness, we got a lot going on. I tell you one thing, Russell Tucker, you know, when I was going back to my trailer from helping Memaw get this new year, new you going kind of thing, he stopped by and was like, hey, Tavin, you looking to coach some T-ball again this year? Now, I don't know if y'all remember last year, but his little boy Jesse, he's got a boy Ronnie Keith, but Jesse's a little one. Perry Lee Grubbs was on this thing. Will Dilroy, that's Candy's brother. You know, all these kids, 5-year-old or something, out there on a T-ball field. I mean, you take a bag of marbles and you cut it loose and you try to get them all back. I'm talking about a bag of marbles on a real steep hill. That's what coaching T-ball's like. Boy, get all them marbles back, and you don't know what you accomplished by the end. Like the coach get exercise because you trying to herd in these little tykes that don't care nothing about swinging a bat or throwing a ball. They just want to run. They want to somersault. They want to piggyback each other. They want a DDT, headlock, full Nelson. Should have been a wrestling team, honestly. I mean, they did more wrestling than any kind of T-ball. I don't know what we taught them, but I know one thing I learned. I don't really want to coach T-ball again. So Russell stopped by, and I was like, hey, Russell, I can't, buddy. I ain't going to do that. I'll get my hand steps ready and my forceps, my intercepts, all that ready for adult softball season, and I want to contribute to our softball team, but I ain't going to be no help at that T-ball. Plus, business is picking up here again pretty soon with the lawn care services, and he understood. He was like, I'm thinking I might not do it. He might pull, his son Jesse out, and then if he don't do it, then he ain't coaching. I don't know, but I'm just saying there's a lot of things kids can do, but I wouldn't sign up and pay for them to be on a team where they basically do everything you do on a playground or wrestling. I was like, just get them together for little wrestle meetings once a week or something. But that's just me. So one thing I am doing this year is helping my Memaw clean up, and I did it already, so I feel good about that. One thing I'm not doing is T-ball. I ain't T-balling it, but I am going to be stretching these haunches soon. We might do, the spring league is really, that spring summer league, that's when that's the real season. I might do some winter league softball, but I just ain't sure yet. I got to figure out what else I got going on with, the lawns, and then cricket. I've still been doing some volunteering over at the nursing home. And Doreen Fundle wants a shirt for a goldfish, and I told Cricket, I can't do that. She goes, just go find something. I was like, it ain't right, because she gonna try to put that on the goldfish, and she might kill it. Like, you're gonna have to do something else. So I was thinking about stickers that put on the outside of the fish bowl, so when Captain Thunderboots swim by that sticker, it looked like he wearing a shirt. And I don't know if Doreen would go for that or not, but I ain't gonna buy a goldfish T-shirt. Goldfish don't wear shirts. Secondly, there ain't a market for it to where I can just go like into Walmart's or Uptown Gal or any of the clothing stores in town and say, oh yeah, can you give me like a junior medium goldfish shirt? That don't happen. So I all that to say, I'm busy enough with my work and my volunteering to not have to do T-ball coaching this season. And Russell understood. He ain't mad about it. In fact, we ended up just leaving the Chancellor Park and going to the Burger Shed, which got a facelift in December. You may see a video soon with me Bud painted it red, which I think works. I mean, our uniforms, they red for softball season. That's the color, that you associate with the Burger Shed, but the indoors wasn't red. And then he got the logo on the wall now. I mean, you feeling like, hey, y'all guys, I'm just telling you, new year, the Burger Shed got all spruced up. Memaw's cookie jar got spruced up. And I'm looking for a big thing this year. And I'll tell you this, my remote control car I got for Christmas, it ain't broke yet. I'll say it again. My remote control car that I got for Christmas times ain't broke yet. So that's a win too. I mean, this year's off to a good start. And one of the big reasons is because you here with me hanging out. Welcome to Chancellor Park. Let's get it this year. I sure am glad you joined me, y'all guys. Please rate and comment and share this. Check them show notes today. It'll definitely be the email down there and my phone number, 501-322-6249, because we got the Q&A next week. So get them questions in, and I'll bring them answers. And hey, if you ain't been hit in the back of the neck from Memaw's fly swatter this week, you having a pretty good week. Me, I'm Tabin Dillard. This is the Tabin Dillard Podcast. Till next time, y'all guys. We'll see you later.